Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Handoff Johnson. Johnson, can he get to the edge? And he does.
Yes, he does.
I can go change my fate. You won't understand it all alone.
Pimental on the carry, 45-50. Nice gain, 40. He's going to score on this one. The 20, 10, 5 touchdown.
I wanna be where I am, and I want something more. Take a chance.
You just do run plays like this and score touchdowns. You know, you just waste time off the clock in.
Wow.
I don't want to let myself.
And a fumble, and it's going to be HC football.
IndianaSRN is on the air, live from Benford Boulevard and 75th Street in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's week 3 of high school football. Tonight we have a great matchup as the Heritage Christian Eagles host the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles. Tonight's broadcast is sponsored by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill. Why do anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric provides quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. And Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. For our team of producer The Wiz, Jerry Collins, cameraman Micah Ware, and my partner Peyton Brown, this is Clark Chafin, and we'd like to welcome you to this contest. Peyton, we have two undefeated ranked teams going toe-to-toe. You have Guerin Catholic ranked number 2 in Class 3A and Heritage Christian ranked number 9 in Class 2A, both playing some great football to this point.
Yeah, they have been, and they have all the momentum on their side at this point. The best thing that you could want in best case scenario in a season is a hot start. And that's exactly what these two teams have right now. And they're looking to keep that going as they go into this evening together. And they have had a brewing rivalry over the past few years. So I'm really excited to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, and as you look at the team statistics heading into tonight's matchup, the thing that stuck out to me, Peyton, is points given up by the defense of each team. It's very impressive. Guerin Catholic has only given up 6.5 points per contest, while Heritage Christian only allows 6 points a game. They say defense wins championships, Peyton. So far, these two defenses have been outstanding.
Yeah, as a defensive player, I know that offense wins ball games, and it's really, really cool to see as they go with the flashy big plays. But defense, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty things of this game, truly do win the championship. So if they don't score, the other team can't lose.
Well, it's going to be a great battle, and who can score the most points against these talented defenses. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back. We'll meet some of the players. We'll get some of Peyton's game plan as far as keys to what these teams need to do to come out on top. It's 2-0 Guerin Catholic at 2-0 Heritage Christian, and it's only on IndianaSRN.
To you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School, Week 3, and we got a great matchup, Guerin Catholic against Heritage Christian. Peyton, let's take a look at some of the players and key players for Guerin Catholic. Was first coached by Coach Tom Dilley in his 10th year. He's 58 wins, 24 years overall. Week 1, they beat McCutcheon 18-10, and last week beat 8-time state champion Lafayette Central Catholic 27-3. Offensively, they're averaging 22.5 points per contest. They're led by Ryan Zimmerman at quarterback. Peter Rooney averaging 148 yards per game at running back and has 3 touchdowns. And the Golden Eagles have 6 players that have caught at least 4 passes. 2 of them, again, are seniors, and Alex Gibbs and Harrison Miller. Their offense has balance in both the run and the pass. Peyton, what's your impression of Guerin Catholic, and what's Peyton's game plan for the Golden Eagles to come out on top?
Yeah, my game plan for Garen is very simple, and it's stick to the aggression and feed off the aggression from the defense because, as you said, they beat an 8-time state champion, and they held them to very, very little points in that game. So if they're able to do that every game going forward in this year, they're going to have a very successful year. So in this game, we know how explosive Heritage can be in the backfield and even on the perimeters, and being able to contain that with their aggression and keep the points to a minimum, I think will give them a leg up here.
Well, like we said, that most of those skill players are seniors. I think they're going to need to really rely on that experience as they face this strong Heritage Christian defense. And speaking of Heritage Christian, they're coached by Kyle Ray in his 8th year. He's 52-24, and another undefeated team. In Week 1, they beat Crawfordsville 47-12, and then last weekend here on IndianaSRN defeated Shenandoah 19-0. Offensively averaging 33 points a game, and they're led by quarterback Eli Nix. Nix has 70% of his passes completed for 4 touchdowns. Elijah Pimental is averaging 162 yards and 3 touchdowns and had an impressive 65-yard run that you saw in the highlights before the game. Isaac Jones at wide receiver's got 4 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. It's going to be a great contest, but again, coming off that shutout, the defense, Coach Justin Ray, the defensive coordinator's got to be excited. So what's Heritage Christian's game plan going into tonight?
Yeah, for Heritage, I would say they need to strike first, strike hard, and strike early.
And we'll take a quick break and come back and look at the head-to-head matchup and preview some games on the network tonight and tomorrow. It's IndianaSRN.
Hey folks, good to be with you for tonight's game. My name is Andy Simpson, and I'm a licensed IHSAA football official, and welcome to Friday Night Football, powered by IndianaSRN. On behalf of the 340 football officials, the IHSAA, the crew here at IndianaSRN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's game, and more important, don't forget to subscribe to the IndianaSRN YouTube page. As you're watching tonight's contest, I'm going to show you a few of our signals that will help you better understand the information we are trying to convey. Touchdown, safety, first down, holding or illegal use of hands, encroachment, or offsides commonly known, false start or illegal formation on the offense, or a free kick, scrimmage violation, face mask, intentional grounding, roughing the passer, clipping, illegal shift, illegal motion, illegal block, pass interference by the offense or the defense, delay of game, and the one signal we dislike and you as fans don't like seeing, unsporting. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and following us on IndianaSRN. You can also tune in to the Football Weekly Show and Coach's Show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on IndianaSRN.org. Finally, if you've ever thought about becoming an IHSAA official, www.ihsaa.org and click on the Officials tab or call the IHSAA office at 317-846-6601. Now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian. This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, videos, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Peyton, we were talking about your keys for the Heritage Christian Eagles to come away with a victory. What's Peyton's game plan for Heritage to be on top and hang that first loss on the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles?
Yeah, for Heritage it is very simple, and I think there's two top keys, and it's number one, leading with their defense. They need to be aggressive and hit hard early because this game is either a game of getting hit or hitting somebody. So defensively, they have to strike first because, as we know, Garen has a strong defense as well. And then the second thing I would say for Heritage is, I know Coach Ray's offense like the back of my hand running it from when I was there, so they need to be able to use their players, get the ball in playmakers' hands with green grass open just in front of them to be able to score early and score often, because I know how high-paced he likes to be. And if he keeps it going and keeps hammering down on the nail, they'll be able to put them away early.
And I think jumping off to a big lead would be a big key. If either of these teams get a two-possession lead with the strength of those defense, that could be insurmountable. And then thinking of that Heritage Christian defense, 11 tackles for loss on the year, 106 solo tackles, and I was looking that up on Max Preps. The national average is 40, and they have 106 solo tackles. That's pretty impressive.
That's amazing.
Head-to-head matchup, Guerin leads the overall series 7-3, and last year Guerin Catholic won by a score of 35-21. So we'll see which offense comes up tonight. Which flock of Eagles, dare we say, come out on top, Peyton? And we got a great weekend of games as the captains meet there at midfield for the coin toss. Other games on the network tonight include Evansville Memorial and at Evansville Central. We have 1-1 Roncalli at 2-0 Chittard and Covenant Christian in Cecina. And tomorrow, we're so excited to bring you week one of college football. It's the opening weekend. At 1:30, we have Olivet at Franklin College. We have at 6 o'clock North Park University at Manchester University. And then at 7 p.m., DePaul at Rose Holman. Tune in tomorrow. We got some great high school football or college football tomorrow. We'll be excited to bring it to you as the coin toss. What a beautiful evening, Peyton. Not like last week where we had all the heat and humidity. It's still warm outside, but very playable.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer this week. I was actually out coaching football all week, so I was able to experience the weather, and it was definitely a night and day difference from what it was last week, because we couldn't even practice outside half the time last week. But we were able to be outside this week. We were able to have a lot of fun, enjoy the weather, and enjoy the sunshine that God gave us. I mean, it's out there for a reason, it's to be enjoyed on a football field, in my opinion.
You know, and you get that crisp morning where you have that fall feel to it. You've got that long sleeve shirt and some shorts on. Nothing better, as Guerin Catholic will kick off and Heritage Christian will receive. The setting sun be into the receiving team's eyes. That might play a little bit of a factor in the passing game.
It definitely could be playing a factor here, and I think this is best case scenario in Garen's head right here, being able to set the tone early. But then again, with the high-tempo offense, it could be in Heritage's best interest to receive here.
Ball is teed up. We're waiting for the official to blow the ball in play, and we're off. Deep kick into the end zone for a touchback. And Heritage will start on the 20-yard line. Again, leading the way for Heritage Christian. Quarterback Eli Nix averaging 83 yards per contest, 4 touchdowns. Elijah Pimental last week made some really explosive plays. Peyton, they like to get him on the perimeter and use that speed.
Yeah, and with a back like that, if I know anything about Ray having a good back in the backfield, he's going to use the run to set up the pass and really, really set the tone with how they ground and pound here. But I could also see him having something extra up his sleeve for a team like Garen in a game like this, something exciting, something deep, something unexpected too.
You say the run sets up the pass. What's that do to a defense when you run the ball consistently?
When you have a back like they do here with Heritage, and they're able to run so successfully and get positive yards, they're able to just pound, and then the defense expects it, and then all of a sudden the quarterback either fakes it and pulls out and throws it, or he just goes straight to pass, because the linebackers are naturally going to flow downhill because they're going to expect to run because they've been doing it so much, and they're not going to be able to see the receivers run right past him, and he's able to dump it straight over their
Well, that's
head.
exactly what happened there on the first play. Linebackers getting downhill, attacking that running back for a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Shotgun formation. Pimental behind Nix. He'll get the handoff. Looks for a running room. Little spin move. Gets some positive yards. About a 4-yard gain.
And that was just great by Pimental to be able to make something out of what could have been nothing. He's able to have the vision to cut back like he is and make a few people miss and get positive yardage out of that.
Positive yardage indeed. Makes it for a manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 6. If you're the defense, are you going to apply pressure?
If I'm the defense here, I'm blitzing the 2 middle backers and I'm dropping my 2 outside backers. It looks like they're in a 3-4 here to the flats, so they take away the flats, and then the safeties are able to either step down or drop back if somebody goes deep.
Jones in motion. Rolling out to the left is Nix. Throws it downfield in between traffic, and it's caught. Isaac Jones in motion, found a soft spot in the zone, and a 1st down for the Eagles.
And Isaac's going to be somebody to watch tonight. I was fortunate enough to be able to see him practice over the past few years, even getting to play with him a little bit. And here's the replay. He's just able to find the zone, toss it straight in there, and Isaac is able to make a great catch here to get a 1st down.
What about the throw for Nix? Moving to your left as a right-handed quarterback, kind of throwing across his body, able to get enough on that to get it to Jones.
Yeah, he's able to be athletic enough to get exactly what his team needs here in this situation.
1st down. Pimental on the draw. Swerves through. And a good tackle by number 37 for Guerin Catholic. That's Dylan Vargas. Grabs him by the ankles for a minimal gain.
And even though this is a short gain, this is going to be something to watch out of Pimentel, and why he was so explosive last week is because of his patience. He was able to see where his offensive line was going to go, who they were going to pick up, and if he needed to make a move on somebody, and he's able to fall forward instead of backward, which will be vital at any point in the game.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about the Heritage Christian offense, they're huddling after every play, slowing the game down, trying to get first downs, try to sustain those long drives as Jones in motion. Pimentel on the sweep to the right. Flag on the play as he takes the corner.
And it looks like it'll be a holding, whoever that right tackle was, probably.
And the indication is a hold. Be the first penalty on the night of Heritage Christian. On a situation like that, do you kind of give credit for that defensive end to reading that play and really putting that tackle in an awkward position to try to get that block on him?
Yeah, I would give the credit to our near side's defensive end and linebacker, because not only did the defensive end apply pressure to where the offensive lineman felt like he had to grab him and hold him, but the linebacker was also able to flow to where the initial hold that Pimentel was going to cut into closed up, and he had to bounce it even further, which just gave even more players a chance to come downhill on him.
Josh Holba, the defensive tackle, 6'3", 271. Play both offensive, defensive line. Nix rolls to the right, getting some pressure. He'll throw it upfield, gets caught. Pass complete to Andrew Sloan.
And at this point in the game, in situations like this, it's going to be vital that Heritage is able to respond, because Garen is applying the pressure and they're being very, very aggressive, able to make them be anxious in the pocket and anxious when they're running. And Garen is a team that will capitalize on it.
3rd and 12. Boy, that 10-yard penalty for holding really put him behind the sticks. As Eli Nix enters the huddle. 8:20 already left in the first quarter. Fast-moving quarter so far. Nix 2 for 2 in the air. No doubt he'll have to put it up again. Scans the defense, rolls to the right, finds a receiver, and again, that's Sloan.
I would not be surprised if Ray decides to go for it here. Early in the game, trying to set the tone. 4th and just a few.
We're able to get 7 on that reception.
And I could see him either trying to draw them off sides here or throwing something over the top of their head.
Call it 4th and 4. And Nix enters the huddle. This could be a quick kick. Let's see how far back he gets behind the line of scrimmage. Isaac Jones to the right, Pimentel to the left. Now he scoots back just a little bit.
And he's going to kick it.
And a timeout is going to be taken by Heritage Christian. We'll take one with them. 8:01 left here in quarter one.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Punts away, it's fielded by Guerin Catholic at the 20, up the right side, breaks a tackle.
Oh, almost lost the ball there.
And Aaron Keller, 14-yard return. And Garen will take possession at the 34-yard line, resembling the Minnesota Vikings. those outfits. I like the color scheme for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, that returner kind of reminded me of Adam Thielen a little bit.
Yeah,
returning there.
he did.
Even though he's not in Minnesota anymore, but
Ryan Zimmerman, quarterback in the shotgun. Peter Rooney to his left. There's a play action and defended nicely as the ball was batted down. Batted down by number 56. It looks like that was Colin Jones, the senior linebacker, 5'11", 220.
And he will be somebody to watch. Him and Isaac Jones will be the two players on defense to watch tonight.
Looks like some heat's coming. Zimmerman drops back to pass. Little out route, little too low. 0-2 is a good Heritage Christian defense. This might be the first team to double digits tonight wins this contest.
Yeah, I would agree because they both are doing the same thing, which is beautiful as a defense, to apply the pressure and apply it early, because on both sides of the ball, we have seen a side of the line give out, and somebody is in the quarterback's face every single time.
3rd and 10. Zimmerman drops back, looks left, throws over the middle. It's caught for a first down. The catch complete by number 32, Harrison Miller.
And that was really good by Garen's quarterback there to stay calm and composed in the pocket, even with somebody in his face, and make a tough throw like that. And good job on the receiver to find an open spot there in that Heritage defense. But Heritage, they keep coming with the pressure. Eventually, something might break for them.
And with that pressure, it leaves a lot of one-on-one situations at the back end as an end around handoff. Breaks a tackle and a first down run by Jack Cherry.
And exactly what happened on that play is what is going to be Heritage's defensive downfall. They were able to fill the gaps really well, as we see in this replay, but there's nobody to contain. And I'm taking a receiver speed over a defensive lineman's speed every single time. I'm sorry, but there's a reason they got the ball in their hands.
13-yard gain all the way down to the 35, and the Guerin offense sustaining drives. Here's Rooney, dive up the middle, right through that A gap.
And at this point, this is when the linebackers are really going to carry the defense, because if a team can't run, they're going to have to throw. But if they can run, they're going to do it all night long. But if these linebackers are not only able to contain but fill their gaps aggressively, there's nowhere to go, forcing them to have to pass.
6:24 left. Rooney up the middle again. Not much there, but enough, I think, to give the Golden Eagles a first down.
And that was just a nice, hard run by that running back as you see him fall forward. And that's exactly what you need out of a running back. No matter what the down is and how many yards there are to go, because if he's falling forward, he's not only gaining the extra yards, but he's setting the tone against that linebacker, because the linebacker's going to remember it next time.
Zimmerman, one-on-one, fade route to the corner, over the shoulder, Jack Cherry, touchdown, Guerin Catholic.
And that was just a perfect ball by the quarterback. He put it in only a spot that he could get it, and that he could catch it. Near the sideline, near the pylon, and the corner made a little bit of a mistake, in my opinion, not turning his head around at all, because you're taught as a DB to watch his hips, but when his eyes get big and his eyes go up, that's time for your head to flip and for your hands to go up so it can get in the way of the ball.
Jack Cherry, touchdown, 6'2", senior wide receiver, and on for the extra point is Peyton Butts. Snap, it's down, the kick is up, it's through the uprights. Guerin Catholic on top, 7-0.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week. showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Officially human. Thanks to our officials for today's game, their hard work and dedication. Without them, we don't play. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say it. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Peyton, what a drive by Guerin Catholic.
That was a phenomenal drive, and Garen had something early in this game that Heritage maybe didn't have, but I believe they will find by the end of the game. And it was when there was a tough situation, they were presented with a 3rd and 10. Their energy was up and their aura was up. But after Garen scored, Heritage was walking off the field, and that is something that another team feeds off of, is when a team seems to be beating themselves up. So it'll be interesting to see how Heritage responds.
Bobbled kickoff and good pursuit by Guerin Catholic, and all the momentum is looking like it's on the Golden Eagles sideline as we see that touchdown pass.
And as you can see, the DB, where his mistake was, I believe, was when he did not turn his head, because he saw the receiver's eyes go up to get that ball. And exactly like I said before break, that's the moment where the DB has to turn around.
Since that 3rd and 10, we look at Guerin's last possession, they had 2 incompletions, but since then they've got on a roll, turned first down after first down, scored a touchdown, and now Heritage Christian starts their 2nd possession on the 5-yard line. Here's the handoff. The running back breaks a tackle and gets a nice gain out to the 15, 20-yard line. Nice 15-yard gain by number 22, Vaughn Johnson.
And that was just a great hard run by him, because he had some initial contact, but it's all about the yak in this game, the yards after contact. And it looks like we got a flag for a face mask, so they got a bonus at the end of that. But he was hit a few times, and he just kept going and kept going and kept his legs turning.
I think they're going to call that a incidental face mask, only a 5-yard penalty, but it moves it up to the 24. So a 14-yard run by Vaughn Johnson.
And if I were Coach Ray here, I'd just keep giving it to him. I would give it to the player who's making plays until they stop him.
First and 10, ball on the 24. Give it to Johnson again. This time tries the right side.
And good effort by him. Just he saw 3 or 4 white jerseys coming at him, and he decided to just take the contact. I love running backs that just take the contact or bring the contact, honestly. That's more fun to watch instead of absorbing it.
Vaughn Johnson, 5'10", looks like he can hide behind some of that big offensive line and squirt through with that speed. Hard to bring down.
Yeah, he's also got a really, really great vision, too. He's able to see where he needs to cut and when he needs to cut there. And when he's in open field, that could be trouble.
2nd and 7, Isaac Jones in motion. They fake the handoff, roll out to the right, and that's caught by Andrew Sloan. Eluding tacklers and advances the ball nicely up to close to midfield for another first down.
And he just capitalized on the 2nd yak there, and that's yards after catching the ball. And he was able to catch it, make a few moves, and get upfield to make it. Here's the replay here as we see. He's able to make a hard cut, get the ball, split 2 defenders, make a move, and fall forward again. That is so important as a ball carrier to fall forward every single time.
20-yard pass play to Sloan. That's his 3rd catch. And Eli Nix has had a nice start to the ball game. He's 4 for 4 through the air. 1st and 10, Heritage. Hand off to Johnson. This time the Golden Eagle defense smells it out, led by Cooper Navarro from his linebacker position.
And outside zone plays to the short field only work if you're able to hook 2 outside defenders. It's the defensive end, an outside linebacker if he's there, and the corner. And as we saw there, they weren't able to hook them as well as they needed to, not really giving him anywhere to go. But if they were able to get them, he just had nothing but daylight in front of him.
2nd and 12, a call to loss of 2. Nix on the draw play to Johnson. Get some of that back. Ball was loose, but I think he was able to recover it. Number 73, Nate Turpin, was also there.
And as we've seen from both backs tonight, I really like how they're staying patient because they like to look at where their line is going, like I said before, and then they just pick a gap and they go. He didn't hesitate at all. When he saw that there was essentially nothing more than 5 yards in front of him that was open, and again, he brought the contact and fell forward.
3rd and 5, a gain of 7 on that run. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain in the first quarter. Man in motion and a pre-snap penalty.
Looks like it's going to be a false start.
It will be. That's what kind of hurt Heritage first drive of the game. They got behind the sticks with a holding call. Couldn't convert a long 3rd down.
And something that is working against Heritage, it can also work for them if they let it, but is working against is the amount of two-way players that they have. It's going to bring a different type of fatigue to their team, which is going to require a deeper focus.
Is that why you see Heritage huddle and kind of slowing the game down?
I would say so. I would say it's to give mostly the linemen a chance to breathe and the other people like Isaac Jones another chance to breathe so they are able to catch their breath and be their best for whatever play it may be.
And another pre-snap penalty against Heritage Christian. Against Guerin Catholic. So offsides gets that 5 yards back. Both teams now with 2 penalties. We're back to a manageable 3rd and 6.
In a situation like this, I would not be surprised if we see some kind of rollout, something in the flat.
And a long pass incomplete. Eli Nix's first incompletion of the night. You got to think, Peyton, if they're taking a long shot like that this is 2-down territory.
I would say, especially knowing Coach Frey, anywhere's 2-down territory, honestly, with the aggressive mind that he has. But yes, in this situation, if you're going to take a shot, I think that automatically communicates to the other team that, hey, this is 2-down territory for us, so we're coming at you.
I like the play call there. 3rd down and 6. You got the defense thinking maybe a 5-6 yard route, try to go over the top.
Yeah, I love it too. It's
You like aggressive play calling?
In my opinion, that's the best type of play calling. I love ground and pound running games. I'm not a fan of short pass games, but it works, so I'll give it to him. But other than ground and pound, that's my favorite. Is seeing some type of shot over the top, especially when you have confidence in your team to get 5 or 6 yards and being willing to take a risk with them. I think it just shows to players that their coach believes in them, and it gives them more confidence for the rest of the game.
Heritage Christian takes a timeout. We'll take one as well.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Heritage Christian takes a timeout, only one left, but this is a big play. 4th and 6 from the Guerin Catholic 49-yard line. They need to keep this drive going. This is play 7 of the drive. Nix drops back to pass, has time, finds his receiver, and he catches it. Andrew Sloan again from his slot position.
And 2 things with that. Number 1, I love the play call going forward on 4th. Let's see this replay. Number 2, I love how the receiver just stands in there and makes a tough catch when his team needs it, because chances are with this, drive, if they don't score on this drive here, it's going to be hard to get the momentum back on their side.
That's the 7th play of this drive. Remember, Peyton, this started at their own 5-yard line. Showing some grit is this Heritage Christian offense. Nix, run pass option, gives it to Johnson down the left side, the 10. One man to beat. He gets in the pylon, touchdown.
And that was just amazing patience by that running back, because there was an initial pressure by the defensive line and the linebackers, but he was patient. He found a hole, and what most running backs sometimes don't do is he took it and he just went and trusted to his speed to the end zone.
Vaughn Johnson making things happen. The 5'10", 190-pound junior takes it down the left side. Heritage Christian is an extra point away from tying this game. Kick is up, and it is good by Noah Ham. And with 1:38 left in quarter one, Heritage ties it up at 7-all.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
An 8-play, 95-yard drive capped off by a 35-yard touchdown run by Vaughn Johnson. And Heritage Christian ties it up at 7. Garen receives the kickoff. Alex Gibbs makes a man miss, crosses the 40. Start this possession at the 44.
And on this touchdown run, as you can see, the running back's patience. He makes a cut off the lineman's footwork, and he sees two back of his jerseys on his team kicking people out, and he's able to take a gap right in between them.
How about the speed, Peyton, of Johnson? It looked like the safety had an angle, but he was able to get by.
See, when running backs don't score on runs like that, it's because they're hesitating and trying to find a cutback lane. But most of the time, when you just trust your speed on the outside, you'll beat them, because a lot of times people don't have the right angles.
Well, Heritage Christian responds to Guerin Catholic's touchdown with one of their own. Now Guerin on offense, a short, quick pass to Jack Cherry, and he'll cross into Heritage Christian territory to their 44.
And the quick hitch is able to go for 5 to 15 yards is exactly what Garen needs in this situation. Able to respond after Heritage scoring a touchdown, and it looks like we could have a shootout instead of what we thought it was going to be a defensive battle.
We were talking the defense up. Both defenses giving up less than 7 points a contest. We're already over that average as Rooney gets the handoff from the 44.
And that running back just has a very low center of gravity here, as he's able to, again, do what the Heritage back did. He was able to make a cut based on a read he made on his own offensive linemen, on their footwork, and if their backs are turned to him or if they're facing him. And he was able to take advantage of the linebacker's mistake there, not running through him, but except absorbing and catching him on the way down.
7-yard gain. Rolling to the left. Incomplete was Zimmerman. And there's a flag on the play. They're going to call it incomplete pass. Jack Cherry, the intended receiver. And let's see. Maybe no flag. They're just going to say 3rd down and 3. So just an incomplete pass, 3rd down and 3. Guerin Catholic goes pretty quick here.
And I would expect some kind of slant or inside run here, something quick just to get the first down.
Rooney on the inside handoff, drags a tackler. Sam Utzik had him by the ankles, but Rooney kept moving those feet. And he's short.
And right here is when Heritage needs to bring the house, but it's when Garen needs to bring in an extra body up front on the line.
4th and 2. Zimmerman looks to the sideline. Let's see if he just tries to get the defense to jump. 10 seconds in the first quarter. They do hike it. They give it to Rooney. He breaks a tackle and he gets a first down inside the 30 to the 29.
In plays like that, most of the time you have one of two outcomes. And the first one is they get hit immediately in the backfield. And the second one is they have a little bit of over pursuit and he's able to take it further than what the chains are.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. We've got a dandy brewing. Guerin Catholic 7, Heritage Christian 7.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, great food for breakfast, lunch, and delicious baked goods. Check out their daily specials, open 8 to 2 Tuesday through Sunday. As a swing pass out here for Guerin Catholic, breaking a tackle is Alex Gibbs.
And that's just a great upfield play by that receiver. He caught it behind the line, and he was able to get almost a first down there, and it was all off of his vision and his decision making after he sees what the defenders are going to do. And again, he's falling forward, but great pursuit also by Isaac Jones from the linebacker spot.
Guerin Catholic's offense going so fast, they need to tell you that Tam's Cafe is located in 6427 Oak Landing Road, and a great tackle from behind by Isaac Arterburn.
It looks like they are just short, or they're calling a first down actually.
Zimmerman able to get the necessary 2 yards.
And if Heritage is able to get a stop here, it'll be huge for them just in a momentum sense. But I suspect from where they're lining up, we could see a rollout here from Garen or a misdirection run.
Here's a handoff to Rooney, and almost broke it.
And I love how that running back covers the ball with 2 hands and he runs low, but if he was able to have his eyes up a little bit, he may have been able to keep his feet and kept going there. And the linebackers, they're playing a dangerous game with diving at his feet. I know we say go low and the low man wins, but we also got to be able to keep our heads up there and fill the gaps.
Rooney has 6 rushes for 28 yards. Zimmerman, slant route, it's caught, and touchdown! Harrison Miller with his touchdown reception.
And that was just a great all-around play by the quarterback and the receiver. The quarterback, I think, knew who he was going to throw to before the snap, and that receiver was able to make one cut, make a move, and stay open and make a tough catch because he had someone on his back.
Peyton, you talked earlier about how the run sets up the pass. That was a perfect example. You little play action, get those linebackers in. Harrison Miller over the top, and a touchdown. It's a penalty, looks like offsides.
And piggybacking off of what you said as well, on that scoring play, you could kind of see not only the linebackers, but the DBs even were erring on the side of taking a step forward, and a few of them, it looked like, had their eyes in the backfield because of how the run has been so effective for Garen.
Well, since the penalty moves the ball half the distance of the goal, Garen is going to go for 2. Zimmerman under center. Here's a handoff, and he gets in. 2-point conversion good by Jack Linden. And they take advantage of the penalty. And now Guerin goes on top 15-7.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
9 plays, 56 yards, and another touchdown. And Guerin Catholic now goes on top 15-7 with 10:26 left here in the first half. That's 2 touchdown passes to Ryan Zimmerman. And the kick is taken at the goal line. It'll be brought out by Pimental, and he'll cross the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And on this drive, I think it'll be huge for Heritage to really, really establish the run, because they've been able to have some hit plays with the run and the pass. But I think, and on this touchdown here, we see the receiver able to break in there and hold on to the ball. Like I said, he had somebody diving at his back, but he held on to it anyway, and he was able to fall into the end zone.
You see a lot of guys in that particular situation, Peyton, take their eyes off the ball with green grass in front of them, and they feel that there's no one around them, and maybe make a cut or a move before they catch it. Great concentration there by Harrison Miller, his second catch for the touchdown, as Heritage tries to answer.
And great vision by that back. And this back here being able to fall forward into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, as we see after the penalty. And I love that play call by that coach, by the way, being aggressive with it after getting a penalty. But also great run by Heritage here. He's able to see the defender is going too far upfield. The lineman is able to push him out a little bit, and the back just takes one cut and gets positive yardage.
2-yard gain by Johnson, who's got 6 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. Nick sets up in the shotgun, rolls to his right. Here comes some pressure. Throws across his body. It's caught by Sloan.
And that's just a great job by the quarterback to stay in there. He had somebody in his face, somebody trying to block for him. He had all kinds of chaos around him. And it looks like we have a holding from that person back there.
I thought the running back, Johnson, may have held on to that defensive lineman in pursuit, and that is the call, so that'll negate that gain. And that'll push him back another 10 yards. That's 3 penalties for 25 yards for Heritage Christian. Just all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So 2nd down. This is how their first drive stalled, Peyton, where they had that holding penalty, pushed him back. They couldn't too much ground to pick up that first down. There's a pitch to Johnson. Finds a little bit of room, 5 yards before he's tackled by number 22, or 25 rather, Aaron Keller.
He's able to get a little bit of room there and get a positive gain, but this Garen defense, they are downhill quick and they are very aggressive. And he was able to close the gap quicker than the running back was able to get outside.
Brings up third down in about 13. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. Fake the screen to the right, and they throw it back to the left. To Isaac Jones, slips and falls, but he powers through. Did he step out of bounds? The official marks him up to the 33. That's going to be really close. Let's see if it's a right foot or left foot spot. It's either going to be first down, and the white hat signals a first down, a big 13-yard pass play.
And that was just such a creative call there, able to fake a swing pass to one of their playmakers tonight and throw it back on a screen to Isaac Jones there. And Isaac's able to just put his shoulder down, and him falling forward gave him this first down.
First down keeps the drive alive. Handoff goes to Johnson. And a shoestring tackle from behind by number 44, Cooper Navarro. But a 7-yard gain by Vaughn Johnson.
And another hard run by him tonight. He has been able to do this all night up until this point. Again, he's reading the offensive line. He's going when he finds a hole. And he's just aggressive when he runs the ball.
And really, when I'm looking coming into this game, Elijah Pimental had 162 yards per game, and it was his average and 3 touchdowns. And so Vaughn Johnson has stepped into that role and done really well with 71 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. Play action. Nix keeps it up the middle. Has enough for the first down. Gain of 4 by Eli Nix.
And back to what you were saying about Pimental, I suspect that Garen probably was planning on keying it on him coming into this game with his performance last week, which probably makes them unexpected to have somebody like Johnson running the ball tonight. But it absolutely opened up the evening for him.
Another first down for Heritage Christian. This drive started on the Heritage Christian Eagle 23-yard line. 7-12 here before halftime. Here's Johnson again to the left side. Slips past a couple of tacklers and is able to fall forward.
And those Garen linebackers were right where they needed to be when they needed to be there. They just needed to break down a little bit because, again, with the back like Johnson, he's going to make you miss, and he's going to keep going.
Yeah, a couple of those linebackers just tackled some air, and he was able to do a little Fred Astaire spin move.
They tackled the air, and one of them got hit by the turf monster there, I think. He just came up and grabbed his ankle or something, and Johnson capitalized on it.
5-yard gain. 2nd and 5. Nix in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff this time. Getting a little pressure. Ball's in the air and in and out of the hands of Isaac Jones. He may have been out of bounds if he caught it anyways.
And that was a great effort by Isaac there, but great, even better coverage by the DB because the DB had his hand in between his arms where is exactly where you want it to be to punch that ball out. And he also, it looked like, maybe caught him in the air, ready to push him out, so he wasn't able to land in bounds.
3rd down for Heritage Christian. 6:19 here, second half. You got to feel like you got to keep those drives going. Guerin's offense looks pretty potent so far. Nix rolls to the right. Finds Jones on a little out route, but a good tackle for only a 2-yard gain.
And it could be an unpopular take, but I would go for it again because Giving the ball back to Garen
Peyton,
is dangerous.
What is your limit on not going for it?
Oh, I'd go for it all the time. I'd get rid of my punter. I would never punt the ball. And I would never kick PATs either. I'd always go for 2.
You better get that punter in the weight room, right?
Exactly. I'll make him a running back or
make
something.
Make him a fullback. They don't have fullbacks anymore. He could be a fullback.
They don't have fullbacks anymore. I would. Hey, if he comes to my gym, he'll learn how to lift. That's for sure.
4th down and 3 for Heritage Christian. You see the play clock dwindling down. I think Heritage Christian's going to call a timeout here, make sure they're all on the same page. Hey, folks, just a couple of reminders. First of all, Wheeler Admissions Thrift Store, bargain hunters, treasure seekers, we have a place for you. Visit our store at 8640 East 96th Street in Fishers, Indiana. Thank you for helping us with our mission. And also want to let you know that tomorrow on the network is week 1 of our college football broadcast with HCAC TV. Olivet and Franklin kicks off at 1:30. We have North Park from Chicago, North Park University at Manchester. That'll kick off at 6. And DePaul at Rose-Hulman will kick off at 7 p.m. So tune in to those broadcasts tomorrow on HCAC, IndianaSRN. Here we have a big 4th down and 3. We'll see what Coach Ray drew up. Are you looking to pound it in the middle here, Peyton, or get something on the perimeter, maybe to Isaac Jones?
If I know Coach Ray, as he does, it'll either be a quick hitch, a rollout, inside zone if he's feeling risky, or some type of slant.
Here's he's look for the quick hitch over the middle and well defended by the linebacker, Cooper Navarro. He's had a big game and was able to get that pass breakup.
And if
that stops the drive.
And if you're Garen, you're bouncing off the walls right now because the momentum has just shifted back to you and you're in the lead. And if you're Heritage, this is what separates good from great football teams. If you're able to have mistakes and have things happen and not go your way and still able to bounce back and get a stop if you're on defense or get a score if you're on offense.
And to piggyback on that, Heritage had the ball from their 23 and ran 9 plays. They accumulated a couple of first downs in that drive, so to come up empty-handed, that's tough for Coach Ray's offense. Meanwhile, Guerin back on the attack. Juggled and caught out here by Alex Gibbs. Still trying to get away.
And great pursuit by that Heritage defense. As you saw, there were more black jerseys there than white. And that's exactly what you need out of a first down from the DBs, just maybe going a little lower to get him on the ground there, but great job there.
They'll call it loss of 1 on that pass. It'll be 2nd and 11. Zimmerman in the shotgun. And in and out of the little bubble screen pass.
And he had some daylight in front of him, maybe for about 5 yards there, but he heard the footsteps coming, and then all of a sudden it was like he ate Butterfingers from the concession stands.
Some of that buttery popcorn that Coach likes. 3rd down. As Heritage Christian runs in some substitutions. Got to make sure you only got 11 on there. Garen likes to go fast. 3rd and 11. Zimmerman rolls to his left. Has a man caught, but it's short. 9-yard pass complete to Alex Gibbs.
And those rollout passes as a defensive back are pretty tough. Not impossible, but pretty tough to cover because they're either cutting on a dime to run an out or they're cutting at an angle most likely.
Called a 10-yard reception. 4th and 1.
And if I'm Garen's coach, I'm looking at the outside here. It'll be able to get hooked. I would run some kind of toss or outside zone maybe. Or if they want to pound it up the middle.
Bunch formation and got Heritage to jump off sides with all that offensive movement and the hard count. Gets him a free 5 and a first down.
And again, with Heritage, they're really just going to have to take a deep breath here and be able to focus again with how many two-way players they do have. I don't think Garen has as many, but I know Heritage has quite a few, which again causes fatigue, and they're not able to focus in these big moments.
4 penalties for 30 yards and a first down. Ooh. And a sack!
And that's just a great response by the defense there, being able to forget about what happened there, regroup real quick, and come in quick off the edge like he did.
Isaac Arterburn comes in and gets the sack. A loss of 4. The 2nd and 14. Zimmerman in the shotgun. Gives it to Rooney, straight up the middle. Tripped up again by Otterman.
Great job by Heritage to trip him up there. It could have been dangerous, though, because it looked like there may have been a few arm tackles going out, being dished out to the running back there. And if he was able to keep his feet, he'd still be running right now. But regardless, great past 2 plays by Heritage here.
3rd and 11. A lot of Heritage Christian Eagles in the box. Here comes some pressures. Zimmerman rolls to the right, throws across the middle, and it's caught. Harrison Miller.
And again, these rollouts are just so difficult to cover in the secondary because you don't know if he's going to cut on a dime or cut at an angle or keep going. But whatever he does do as a DB, as soon as he does it, you have to close the gap or you'll have plays like this.
Zimmerman is 6'6" and was able to use his size and agility to get away from that defensive lineman and convert that first down. Here's Rooney up the middle, tough running for 10.
And again, this running back took advantage of what I mentioned the last play, and it's the arm tackles. There were people there, but they just dished out an arm and lunged at him. And if they keep doing that, their running back eventually is going to find his groove and understand what's going on and keep his feet moving like he just did.
First and 10 in the red zone now at the 15-yard line. Zimmerman looks left, fade route to the corner. Looking for number 14, Alex Gibbs.
And he just overthrew him. He threw it into double coverage, but he had him beat. And again, the quarterback threw only to where his receiver could have gotten it. And if he was just a step quicker in that route, or if the quarterback took a little bit off, he'd be standing in the end zone with the ball right now.
Second down, Rooney with the handoff, met in the backfield again by Otterburn.
And Otterburn is showing the aggression that this Heritage defense needs in these situations like this. He was able to meet him in the backfield there. And it looks like he was just short bringing up the 4th down. This is huge for Heritage here.
4th down and 1. And a timeout is going to be called by Guerin Catholic. Minute and 1 second left. We'll take a break.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
To their confidence.
4th down and 1. And an offensive guard just got out of that stance a little quick.
And this was the best case scenario for Heritage Christian here, having a penalty there, because as Garen's running the ball here, they probably could have easily picked up a yard, but thankfully for Heritage, the offensive line jumped off sides there.
So Peyton Butts is going to try what looks to be a 36-yard field goal. We'll call it 36-yarder from the hold of Malcolm Hose. Snap, the kick is up, plenty of leg. And it's true and through the uprights. A 36-yard field goal is good. And with 39 seconds, Guerin now on top by 11.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Peyton Butts with a 36-yard field goal and puts Guerin on top 18-7, and he's ready to kick it back off to Heritage Christian. Now a two-score contest. Peyton, we talked earlier in the broadcast about how that might be a turning point to get to that goal of a two-score as we see this field goal.
And it looked like it could have been good from 56.
He had plenty of leg. Not much wind as we see the flag pretty still. But definitely could have had another 10 yards easy.
And a field goal in that last drive is the best case for Heritage, besides a turnover, obviously, because this is a much more manageable comeback than it is being down two full scores.
And if you're Guerin Catholic, you got to be happy to score. And with only 39 seconds, you're going to get that second half kickoff as Nix rolls to the right, going to air it out deep. A crowd of people and in and out of the hands
of Palaconda.
Palaconda in the area. The little jump ball Hail Mary pass to the 50-yard line.
And if he would have high pointed the ball with his hands, I bet he would have brought that in, but he tried to catch it with his body there. But still, regardless, great effort by him. They're almost pulling that down.
Second down for the Heritage Christian Eagles offense. 31 seconds to go.
And I could see Heritage running with a no-huddle type offense after they get some type of play going for them.
Here's the pitch to Pimental. He breaks a tackle. And he'll go down. That's on Pimental's only fourth carry. 8-yard gain. Guerin Catholic calls a timeout with 17 seconds remaining to try to maybe get a turnover, create a turnover. Let's see if what Heritage decides to do on this play.
I think regardless of what Heritage decides to do here, Garen needs to bring the house. Close the half out well. They set the tone already with the aggression on their D, and coming out and striking like they have, having 2 passing touchdowns now, almost getting the third there. And if I'm Garen, I'm bringing the house at the end of the half, because why not?
And you still have one more timeout if you're Garen. If you're able to get that ball within possession. If they run it, you get a quick stop and call that timeout. Maybe get a block punt, something special on special teams. As Heritage Christian comes out, looks like a pistol formation with Pimental behind Nix.
And I'd have our eyes on Palaconda here.
Pimental with the carry. Cuts back, and he'll get the first down. It's a 5-yard run. That move the chains to the 33-yard line. Nix looks, back to pass, down the sideline, has a man.
Just out of his reach there. It looks like they'll be able to go for one more play, though.
Harry Bryant, the intended receiver.
Now, I don't know if this will happen, but I would love to see a hook and ladder here.
Well, we talked about this last week, the old Stanford Cal hook and ladder, which Peyton's never seen Stanford and Cal, but the trombone is in the Hall of Fame from it got busted. But we'll see if what's up their sleeves. Do you practice plays like this, Peyton?
As football teams, yes, you do sometimes when you get to having fun and practice and everything, but usually it's something that's just an adrenaline rush play. Like you hear it on the sideline, coach kind of draws it up in the sand, and then you go and try and see what happens.
Well, they keep it safe and give it to Pimentel for a 3-yard gain, and that'll take us to half. Guerin Catholic on top 18-7 as we take a look at some of the scoring. First of all, Guerin Catholic had a touchdown from Ryan Zimmerman to Jack Cherry for 24 yards. Heritage Christian responded with a Vaughn Johnson 35-yard touchdown. Zimmerman then connected on a 15-yard touchdown pass to Harrison Miller, and then they round out the scoring with a 36-yard field goal by Peyton Butts. And that takes us to our halftime score of 18-7. First half thoughts, Peyton?
Yeah, I'm thinking with Heritage they need a way to stop Garen's passing attack, because that is what they are utilizing the most right now. They also need to figure out how to get their linebackers to make the initial contact when they fill the gaps. They cannot absorb hits. They cannot just take their running back and fall backwards with him. But they need to initiate the contact with them. And then for Garen, they just need to keep the pedal on the metal here.
Both teams have yet to make a turnover, which is very important to their success. Ryan Zimmerman, 8 of 12 for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns for Guerin Catholic. Also big receiving numbers by Harrison Miller. He has 3 catches for a touchdown and 50 yards. Meanwhile, for Heritage Christian, Vaughn Johnson, the big offensive performance for the Eagles. He has 9 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. And he leads the way. And also Andrew Sloan, big in the receiving department for Heritage Christian. He's caught 4 passes for a total of 48 yards. What the big story, I think, in the first half for Heritage Christian, you've had 2 holding penalties, which has really killed 2 drives.
Yeah, those penalties will kill them every single time because they had decent drives going, and then the momentum shifted it back. And, you know, sometimes with some teams, penalties get in your head, especially in games like this, though. You're coming in as maybe an underdog type felt with a team like Garen that you're going against, and then the penalties just set you back, especially when Garen keeps getting in the end zone.
Those 10-yard penalties really set you behind the sticks, and they could not get those first downs. Halftime, we take a look at the Heritage Christian cheerleaders. Garen on top, 18-7.
$3:30 in the morning to be on the job at 5 a.m. I had to oil up my machine every day. I could sew about 150 footballs a day. A football is made from a big piece of leather. It's cut out like a cookie cutter, and that panel is split down to a certain size. They're stamped with a logo, and then there's a lining that's put on it to hold the shape of a ball. When I get the football, it's in 4 panels. There's the top 2 panels. Those 2 are sewed together, leaving the opening. Then I sew the bottom 2 panels together. After the lace holes are punched and the seam are pounded down, then I sew the full section together. The rule of thumb is you don't make a good football sewer until you run a needle through your finger. One time the needle just slid up underneath the foot, stuck in my finger. They put an ice pack on it, took me to the doctor, he cut it out, and I went back to work the rest of the afternoon. I'm tough. The turner gets the nice job of turning it right side out. Then it goes to the lacer, he or she, puts a bladder in it and then laces it. After it goes to the lacer, it's molded. Then the ball is ready to be inspected.
Sewing the football together is probably the most important quality.
Good as a sophomore. He was a sophomore that year, I think.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
We're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
You saying my kid?
Yeah!
Come on!
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Clark Chafin, Peyton Brown, producer Jerry Collins, and Micah Ware on the camera bringing you this action tonight from Heritage Christian. Guerin Catholic on top here at halftime, 18-7. Let's take a look at the statistics from the first half. We'll start with Guerin Catholic. Ryan Zimmerman at quarterback for the Golden Eagles is 8 of 12 through the air for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the ground for Guerin, you have Peter Rooney with 9 carries for 40 yards. Jack Cherry with 1 carry for 13 yards. And Ryan Zimmerman for 1 carry for 2 yards. Receiving for Guerin looks like this. Alex Gibbs has 2 catches for 17 yards and a touchdown. 3 catches rather. Harrison Miller with 3 catches with a touchdown and 50 yards. And Jack Cherry has 2 receptions for 36 yards and a touchdown. Heritage Christian stats look like this. Eli Nix, the quarterback, is 7 of 11 for 71 yards. Vaughn Johnson leading the way on the ground for the Eagles. He has 9 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. Elijah Pimental has 6 carries for 21 yards. And quarterback Eli Nix has 1 carry for 4 yards. Receiving, Andrew Sloan leads the way for Heritage Christian. He has 4 catches for 48 yards. Isaac Jones has 3 catches for 23 yards. But penalties, Peyton, the biggest bugaboo for Heritage Christian. They have 4 penalties for 30 yards, while Guerin Catholic has 3 penalties for 15 yards. Looking at games on the network as well, bringing you some scores. Evansville Memorial on top of Evansville Central by a score of 28-0. Chittard up against Roncalli at Chittard. Chittard 2-0, leading 14-7. And Cecina leading Covenant Christian 14-6. Peyton, some other scores from around the area?
A few other that we got is Ben Davis on top of Pike, 38-0. We got Zionsville on top of Westfield, 17-14. And then one more, we got Seymour on top of Columbus East, 28-13.
So some good games all around the state of Indiana. I want to remind you also tomorrow on IndianaSRN, we've got college football HCAC action. It's kicking off at 1:30. We have Olivet will visit Franklin College. At 6 p.m., we have North Park University at Manchester. And at 7 p.m., we have DePaul at Rose-Hulman. So DePaul making the trip from Putnam County down to Terre Haute to tussle with the Fighting Engineers. So it should be an exciting day. We'll be happy to bring you all that action for week 1 of college football. Teams making some final adjustments. We'll take a short break and we'll come back and see what Peyton has in plan for each of these teams for the second half on IndianaSRN.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
Takes a specific type of.
Here we go. Heritage Christian and Guerin Catholic getting back on the field as they've had some halftime instructions. We look at some upcoming games for both teams. Guerin Catholic next week will go to Brebeuf, who is 1-1 on the season. And then September the 15th, they're going to take on Circle City Conference rival Ron Colley, who's in a tussle with Chittard right now. And then the week after that, September 22nd, Guerin will face Chittard, who is 2-0 in not only a Circle City Conference opponent, but also a sectional opponent. So Guerin in sectional 28 for Class 3A. Looking at Heritage Christian's next few games upcoming next weekend, next Friday. They're at Eastern Hancock, who's off to a good start this year at 2-0. In September the 15th, they'll face Cecina, who Cecina is on top of Covenant Christian. Cecina has a 2-0 record. And September the 22nd at Covenant Christian 1-1. So those are some upcoming games. We'll take a short break. We'll come back and get Peyton's game plan for us the second half to see if Heritage can erase this 11-point deficit.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org And tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A little film study.
Yeah.
18-7 as we return here on IndianaSRN. Peyton Brown, Clark Chafin, the Wiz, Jerry Collins, and Micah Ware providing you the camera action. Doing a fantastic job as we get ready to the second half as the teams have come back out from the locker room and get warmed up. Peyton, what are your second half thoughts for Guerin Catholic? First of all, you have the lead 18-7, and you're getting ready to get the second half kickoff.
Well, for Garen, I would feed off of exactly what you're seeing on the field. You're seeing them with an up-tempo and just an upbeat spirit, and I would take that to both sides of the ball, being able to keep Heritage to minimal gains and making them maybe overthink plays, causing penalties within the game. And then on offense, I would just keep the hammer down because they are scoring whenever they want to, it seems like.
If you're Guerin Catholic and you get this kickoff and you score and extend that lead, what can that do to not only your psyche but also to Heritage Christian?
To Garen's psyche, they're going to be on top of the world and have all the confidence in the world, because if they're able to just keep scoring or keep the ball for chunks of time, then Heritage won't have time to come back, and Garen will be able to come out on top. And Heritage, like I said earlier in this game, tonight's going to be a test if they're going to be a good or a great team this year. They have talent. They're able to get in the end zone against anybody. We've seen that in these first 3 games of this year. But it's about when you're down as a team, are you able to regroup and just rethink everything and choose to come back? Because I think it's a choice to have the effort within the game, or are you going to roll over?
Heritage Christian going to kick off to Guerin. Boy, as we mentioned, just those couple of drives where they had holding penalties, those 10 yards really add on to that down and distance, and they just weren't able to overcome those penalties, on those holding penalties on those drives. And that's really the difference. Guerin Catholic getting good field position then off those punts and around midfield and able to take advantage and score. So we'll see how that all plays out as the officials get everybody organized and get Guerin Catholic the right side of the field as Heritage Christian gets ready to kick off by number 6, Noah Ham, the senior kicker / punter. I know, Peyton, you're aggressive. You would probably dial up an onside kick right here, wouldn't you?
I would for sure onside kick it. Are you kidding me? I'd pull a Sean Payton like he pulled against the Colts back in, I don't even know how many years that was now. Yeah, I would for sure onside it and put my most aggressive people in the middle and just have them take somebody out and have my fastest guy on the outside folding over, able to recover the ball, but they'll probably kick it deep.
Well, if you're Coach Ray, you got to somehow change the momentum, get it swing to the Heritage Christian side as the kickoff is taken by Jack Linden. And he brings it out to around the 18-yard line.
And great job by Heritage getting down the field there, because he looked like he caught it between the 3 and 5 yard line, so he wasn't able to get a huge gain out of that return, which is a testament to Heritage getting down the field and being aggressive.
We'll call it the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Ryan Zimmerman, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Running back's Peter Rooney. There's a short hitch pass. It's caught out there by number 6, Hayden Clare. His first reception.
looks like that was a minimal gain. Heritage was right there to tackle him right as he caught it. And the key for guarding the pass here is watching their hips, because their hips are not going to lie as to where they're going.
Second down. Rooney gets the handoff straight up the middle, runs right into the safety. A huge collision, and I think it's going to be enough, though, for a first down.
And runs like that one right there, especially at the beginning or end of halves, or beginning or end of quarters, are tone setters, because as you see, you have a huge collision like oftentimes you do in football, but one person falls back, one person falls forward, and that's going to be the tone setter potentially here in this half.
Isaac Nelson, the safety for Heritage Christian. At the wrong end of that hit, but he was able to get up, give the thumbs up to the sideline. Meanwhile, 1st and 10. Zimmerman over the middle. It's tipped and will fall incomplete. Nice job of that defensive lineman to get his hand up.
And that was a great deflection there, and something that I think everybody should pay attention to here in this half. It could be detrimental to one of these sides here, is the Garen linemen are a lot quicker off the ball than the Heritage linemen are. So the Heritage linemen are a little slower right now, which I think they'll regroup. I believe they will. But if Garen keeps being as fast as they are off the ball, they're going to have the push, because it all starts with the linemen in this game.
Play action, little quick hitch route for 6 yards to Jack Cherry. And puts him in a manageable 3rd down. Call it 3rd down and 4 from the 35-yard line. The Guerin offense kind of mixes up its tempos, but they'll go fast, they'll huddle, and this time it's kind of a muddle. They'll see if Heritage tips their hand defensively. A quick out, and it's caught for a first down to Alex Gibbs.
And way to hang on to the ball there. It looks like it may have been close to being out of his reach. He was able to hang on and stumble forward for a little more than the first down here. And if we're Heritage, we're needing to think of something to either get the ball back, strip it, intercept it, whatever it may be, or just stop them, because it can be detrimental to them in this game if Garen's able to score here.
Zimmerman rolls right, looks left, getting some pressure. He's able to get rid of it with his left hand. Caught out there by Harrison Miller.
And a play like that is exactly what Heritage needs here at the beginning of this half, the negative yards. They need to keep pushing them back and pushing them back, and it's all going to start with their D-line. Like I was mentioning a few minutes ago, if their D-line is beating Garen's offensive line off the ball, they're going to get that initial push, and the more downhill the first layer is, the second and third layers are also going to follow.
So a negative play almost would have benefited Miller if he would have just knocked it down. But it's hard to drop a pass on purpose. Little screen out to the right and tripped up. Alex Gibbs with hit the catch.
And if he didn't trip up there, he may still be running right now, but that was good by Gibbs to get the reception there, get upfield for a few yards, and make this a lot more manageable of a 3rd down here.
Gibbs now with 4 catches for 29 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 8. Zimmerman drops back to pass, looks to the left, and a little off on the timing. Intended receiver was for Aiden Ferry.
And it was just a little bit out of his reach there, and this is exactly what Heritage needed. They needed a stop as they're bringing out their punt unit on here. But they need to capitalize on offense when they get the ball back.
Looks like one of the halftime adjustments is that Heritage Christian defense just crowding the line, putting pressure, forcing Garen to throw the ball, and in that situation they came up empty, and they're forced to punt.
And that was very close to being blocked there.
And I think it may have been touched as it goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Heritage Christian. So great field position after giving up 1 first down The Heritage Christian defense bows up, gets a punt, and gets the ball back for their offense.
And as to what you were saying with the adjustments they made, Heritage is now having not only 7 in the box on defense, but 7 people pressuring in the box, which they're taking a risk there. They're saying, Garen, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us passing, and we're not going to let you run all over us. But I love the aggression with it.
1st and 10, ball on the 40-yard line. Jones in motion. Nix fakes the handoff and takes it up the left side for only a gain of a yard. Cooper Navarro been very active from his outside linebacker position.
The outside linebackers and the DNs here have done a great job tonight, because not only are they forcing a lot of cutbacks and things tonight, but they're also just aggressive, and those other D linemen, linebackers, and even the DBs are going to feed off of that. And I believe that's exactly why they've been able to have the push that they're having here tonight.
2nd and 9. 7:45 left here in the 3rd quarter. Pimental gets the carry. He's bottled up. Finished off by number 24, Nick Bowman.
And that was just great pursuit by the defense. They were able to recognize the outside zone there with Pimental, and they were able to plug the right gaps up. And one of the main gap they have to plug up there is containing, so they're able to push it back to their flowing linebackers, because their linebackers are flowing downhill to fill gaps anyway, and the backer was just able to meet them in the C gap there.
This Heritage Christian offense has to reward its defense by picking up this 1st down. 3rd and 8. Rolls to the right as Nix throws it out, and it's incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. Good pressure by the defensive line of the Golden Eagles.
And I believe we're going to see him punt here.
4th and 8, and Noah Hand comes out to do the punting duties for Heritage. Aaron Keller back to receive for Guerin Catholic. A quick 3 and out, only netting 3 yards in that possession. Keller lets the ball bounce, takes a Guerin roll before it's scooped up at the 29. And that's where we'll start Guerin's next possession. Boilermaker Local 374. Learn how we can hire you. Contact us today at 219-845-1065. It's the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers, Iron Shipbuilders, and Blacksmith and Helpers. 1st and 10. Guerin Catholic, 2nd possession of the 2nd half. And here's the handoff to Cherry on the end around. Breaks a tackle and gets all the way across the 40-yard line, and a 1st down.
Just a great job by the runner there. He was just trusting his blockers. He was patient with it. He got outside, and he was able to get upfield and get the 1st down. Heritage, though, they had a blitzer, had him in the backfield if he's able to break down. So these linebackers really, really need to focus on that so they're not able to get positive yards like that.
11-yard gain by Jack Cherry. That play's been successful. They've ran that twice. Here's the hand off to Rooney up the middle for 4. I just have a feeling Peter Rooney's going to have some tough running in this 2nd half with as many Heritage Christian Eagles in the box on defense, really crowding that line, forcing that offense to try to throw the ball.
Yeah, with this many people in the box, he's definitely going to have a lot of hard running, and at some point, Garen's just going to try to manage the clock and run it out.
2nd down, call it 6. Cherry on the end around again, stops and goes, then gets caught in the backfield and taken down by Brock Buckland.
And that's just great pursuit by those outside defenders. The number one place where people get beat in high school football is either up the middle, directly up the middle, or on the edges. So you need to be able to have tough linebackers to fill gaps and then people to contain the edges. And they were able to have a lot of people there containing that edge. They had their number one guy as the defensive end, and then the corner and then the safety just all flowed to him. And they were able to swarm him in the backfield there.
3rd and 10. 7 Heritage Christian Eagles out of the line of scrimmage. Zimmerman throws the fade route, and it's caught. Complete to number 6, Hayden Clare. And they finally bring him down all the way inside the 40-yard line.
And what happened here is exactly what we saw on Garen's first touchdown of the game. And it's the defensive back was in perfect position. But immediately when the receiver's eyes go up, your hands as a defensive back and your head have to flip around. As we see, the quarterback gets pressure. It's not like he's comfortable in the pocket. He throws it up there, but that defensive back was turning his head a little late. He was right there next to him, but if he's able to turn his head a little quicker, he's able to pick it off.
Credit the play calling too, Peyton. They threw that to the wide side of the field, so there was plenty of room for the receiver to be able to make a play on the ball, and they were able to pick up a huge first down and move the chains. Rooney on the handoff for no gain. It's going to be 2nd down, 10. Ball on the 39-yard line of Heritage Christian. 3 receivers to the right. Zimmerman looks over the middle, and it's complete. Taken down all the way to the 20 is Alex Gibbs.
And a great touchdown-saving tackle by Isaac Jones there, but the defensive back or linebacker maybe that was supposed to be defending him was just a little out of position. What you want is to be in between the receiver and the quarterback on his inside shoulder so you can make a play with some outside leverage. But he was directly behind him at an angle, giving him a perfect alley up the field to make a play and get positive yards like he did.
Zimmerman in the air, another fade route, and through the hands of Harrison Miller. They tried to hook up the second time, maybe a little pick play there.
And it looked like either a pick play or a little miscommunication, one or the other, or both. And if that quarterback just took a little bit off of it, they're up big right now.
Just past the outstretched fingertips of Harrison Miller. Needed some stickier gloves. Brings up 2nd down and 10. It's a quick out route, and that one's through the hands.
And it seems like the receivers as a whole took a trip to the concession stands at halftime to get some Butterfingers.
Butterfingers?
But it was just out of his reach there.
3rd and 10. And with the confidence of the field goal kicker, Peyton Butts, who's already connected on a 36-yarder. They're definitely in field goal range. I was watching him warm up here before halftime. He was knocking them in from 45.
They are definitely in field goal range here, but you know if you're Garen, you're looking for 6 on this drive.
Here's the handoff to Rooney. No, it's a pass fake, and the post is open. But
and 3 balls in a row there, credited to, I believe, Heritage's defensive line for getting pressure, are just out of the reach of Garen's receivers.
Clear the intended receiver just past the outstretched hands. And Peyton Butts comes back out for the field goal attempt. This will be from 37. Snap, kick, plenty of leg, and it's good. Another field goal by Peyton Butts, this one from 37. Guerin extends that lead.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
37-yard field goal by Peyton Butts puts Guerin on top 21-7. Some other scores on the network. Cecina up on Covenant Christian 21-6. Evansville Memorial up on Evansville Central 49-0. And Chittard still holding that touchdown lead over Roncalli at 14-7. 3:31 here in the third. Heritage Christian, count that a win, Peyton, for holding to a field goal. Still a 2-score game, but you got to get something cooking here on offense. As the touchback, they'll take the ball at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Heritage definitely needs to get something going here because their defense was able to bail them out a few drives in a row, but definitely the last two with these 2 field goals because Garen had touchdowns open, but they were able to miss them because of the pressure and the penetration applied by Heritage's defense. And their offense really needs to capitalize here and avoid mental errors and mental mistakes like that result in penalties.
Wonder if Coach Rake has ever considered maybe putting Vaughn Johnson and Pimental in there at the same time, giving them 2 outstanding athletes on the perimeter. So here's the handoff to Johnson. Eludes a couple of tackles before he gets outside. Nice tackle, though, by Nick Bowman.
I'll tell you something that he may have up his sleeve. I don't know if he does. It's been a few years now, but the little Wildcat formation, it was really awesome to be able to run that when I was there. It was me and my little brother in the backfield being able to play together.
That was really cool.
That was awesome, especially in the sectional championship when we were in it. But it caught them so off guard. They didn't know what to do. So you almost wonder what it would do if he came out in a formation like that with people like Pimental and Johnson.
Guerin stays in at 3-4, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. As Nix moves to his left. Throws in the flat, that's caught. And moved up for about a gain of 7 to Erie Bryant. Called a gain of 8.
And that was just a great athletic play by him, catching it. It seemed about 7 yards behind where the line of scrimmage is now, but he was able to make a move, get upfield, and Heritage needs to move the chains here.
Their offense, they haven't been no huddle. They've huddled and been consistent with that pace the entire ball game. 3rd and 2. Johnson with the handoff. Gets a push, drives those legs, and will record a first down and move the chains. That's a 3-yard first down.
And if we're Heritage here, I'm looking at, I don't know if they'll do this or not, but I'm looking at getting a play that builds some momentum and then going no huddle off of it and just lining up at the line of scrimmage, because I would shoot, if I was the coach, I would shoot for scoring by the end of the 3rd quarter so you have the whole 4th to play with, hopefully getting the stop when Garen gets the ball back and then turning back around and having enough time to score and tie the game.
1st and 10, ball on the 31. Jones in motion. Handoff. And it's on the floor.
I think Heritage.
Did Johnson get it back? He was there for a while. Looked like number 37, Dylan Vargas, tried to get it. Johnson recovers it. Loss of 4, though. And a negative play puts that Heritage Christian offense behind the chains. 2nd down and 14 from the 27. Makes this play very important because you got to get some positive yards to get in, cut into that 14-yard line to gain.
In a situation like this, I'd watch the top of our screen here, or
Nix rolls to the right, little wheel route. He's able to hit the receiver, Andrew Sloan, coming back. Sloan with a nice catch, 11 yards.
And then that's exactly what you could have asked for from someone on Heritage's team in a situation like that, getting a chunk back and making it a manageable third down here.
Yeah, and that was Andrew Sloan, just seeing his quarterback in trouble, coming back to him and making a nice catch. Goes up, high points that ball, catches it with his hands. Now you have third down and 6. Play action. Nix finds a man and it's caught. It's Sloan again, and he'll step out of bounds. And a big first down by Sloan.
And the awareness and the athleticism from this kid is really keeping Heritage in the game here. When he gets his hands on the ball, he's dangerous in open field.
20-yard pass play. And that is Andrew Sloan's 6th reception. Really carrying the load for the receivers for the Heritage Christian Eagles, but a big first down, and now you're in Guerin Catholic territory. Pimental weaves, eludes a couple of tacklers before he goes down for a 2-yard gain.
Pimental, the ball carrier.
Pimental has had a tough night, came in averaging over 100 yards and 162 a contest. Only have him unofficially for 8 carries for 25 yards. As that will end the third quarter of play. Guerin Catholic on top by 14.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back as we begin the fourth quarter. That Guerin defense been stingy all game. Comes in only averaging 6 points given up. Heritage Christian has only tallied 7 points, but they're driving right now. They face a second down and 7 as we begin the fourth quarter. Peyton, 2 scores, which is kind of what we said there at the beginning of our outset of the contest. Guerin has reached that, now going to rely on that tough defense. Nix drops back, climbs the pocket, throws it deep, and it's intercepted through the hands, and it's picked off down the sideline.
And he's still going.
No one in front of him. The 10, the 5, touchdown Guerin Catholic.
And just what a return by him. Able to catch it off the deflection there and just take off down the sideline with that speed.
The tip drill, Malcolm House. And in for the score, although there's a flag on the play. But you had a lot of great individual plays going on. Eli Nix avoiding the sack. Get his eyes downfield. But overthrown, and the defender was able to tip it and catch it for the interception. It was Guerin Catholic. We got a hold on the return, so that's going to negate the touchdown, but Guerin Catholic will maintain possession.
And if you're Heritage, you are embodying the short memory right now, because you cannot be dwelling on that mistake, even though it is you're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, you still have plenty of time. But if you're Garen, you got to capitalize right now.
That is Guerin's 4th penalty on the night. But they have possession. And they've got the ball at the 48-yard line. Let's tell you about the Morales Group is building better futures one story at a time with locations in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Anderson, Columbus, Lafayette. Contact the Morales Group at 317-472-7600 as we take a look at this interception.
And that DB was just able to play the tip drill perfectly there. And if there wasn't a holding, he found the perfect lane. It just took off and was able to potentially have 6 points, but it got called back.
Peyton, what's it like as shifting that quick from going from defense to offense? Like, how quickly does it happen in between the years?
It happens in the blink of the eye, and especially when you're on the field when you're a two-way player, it's like, okay, now I got to shift my mentality to a defensive mentality if I'm Heritage, and if I'm Garen and I play both ways, I got to shift it to an offensive mentality. Offensive mentalities are a lot more strategic. Defense, it's a lot more free-spirited.
Just a blink of an eye, your instincts take over. Meanwhile, a handoff to Rooney around the right side. Mr. Rooney's running tonight has been through the tackle, so to get him off tackle. And if you're Rooney, you're going to stay in bounds to keep that clock running as he picks up 7 there.
If you're Garen here, you're just wanting to pound it and run that clock. And if you're Heritage, I'm seeing a little bit of extra things at the end of the plays. You're wanting to keep your composure because there is still a chance for a comeback.
Garen is now in Heritage Christian territory. We'll let that play clock run down as well. Zimmerman drops back to pass down the seam. It's caught. The 10, touchdown, Alex Gibbs in traffic down the seam, and another 6 for Guerin Catholic.
And the DB there got caught with something that could either be a blessing or a curse in a split second, and he played the ball, which there's nothing wrong with doing that as a DB, but you have these plays when you play the ball that you don't quite hit the right mark, and the receiver ends up with it and taking it for as long as he did.
And that's the gamble that Heritage defense has to have. They have to crowd that line of scrimmage to try to get incompletions and stop the clock. Leaves you in some isolated situations. And the kick is up and good by Peyton Butts. And another touchdown on the board, and Guerin Catholic now leaves by a score of 27-7 with 10:45 remaining. What a play as he hits him down the seam.
That was just a perfect throw there by the quarterback down the seam, finding him. And if we're Heritage, again, like I said, short memory. You got to be able to move on in situations like this.
Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between, we do it all. It's 3 services with 1 solution. Contact Piper Logistics at 317-396-1023. That's Piper Logistics. 28-7, Guerin on top. The 3rd touchdown pass from Ryan Zimmerman. This one to Alex Gibbs. Gibbs has now 6 catches on the night. How tough is it to catch a ball in traffic like that when you got defenders flying around you and you've got to focus in on that ball? You know you're going to get hit. Got to be a tough spot.
It is. It's a frame of mind where you have to focus on catching the ball because you got to bring it in and not drop it. But it's also a frame of mind of like, okay, I'm about to absolutely get smoked here, and being okay with it. It takes a few screws being loose in somebody to be able to do that.
Flag on the return.
And it may be either a holding or a block in the back, maybe even a face mask.
46 yards on that touchdown pass.
officials call a holding, and that'll move Heritage Christian back. And now Heritage Christian, you got to think Peyton will be one-dimensional on offense.
Yeah, in a situation like this that they're in now, they need to open up their pass playbook, because we've seen a lot of great running and just great plays from their running backs with them being able to run hard and find open grass and all that, but we haven't quite seen the pass playbook really be expanded or taken advantage of here, which hopefully Heritage is able to get a rhythm with.
1st and 10. Screen pass caught out here on the side by number 34, Isaac Jones. But really sniffed out well by that defense of the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles were all over that one after the last time they ran it. We could hear it from here. They were yelling out screen, and those linebackers and D linemen on that side knew to pursue Isaac over there as they ran it one time before already here.
On defense, when there's a screen, what's the key to make you yell screen?
Usually the DBs are the only ones that can see it. I believe, or at least that's how it happened when I was on the field, because the linebackers were so downhill, and the D linemen are obviously getting hit right as the play starts. So the key is listening for those DBs yelling that and being able to get to a spot. If you're close enough to the quarterback, you hit them no matter what. So you're able to set the tone with them. But then if you're close enough to a running back or a tight end, you find him and you latch to his hip.
So the screen was a negative play of -2 yards or so. Then we have Vaughn Johnson run for tackle for a loss as well. So Heritage Christian in this possession going the wrong way, and the clock not their friend, as we're now at 9 minutes or a little over 9 minutes left in the game.
And I would suspect that we see some kind of seams through the middle and a post on the outside maybe.
Nix down the left side, ball is up in the air, and is it complete? No. Intended receivers, Palaconda. But Palaconda cannot pull it in, and it's 4th down. 4th and 15. And Noah Ham comes in to punt. Heritage gets their punt protection personnel on the field. 4th and 15. Garen on top 28-7. Low snap. He's able to get it away. And a nice kick. Fielded at the 50. And a big hit by number 56 for Heritage Christian, Colin Jones.
And that's the hits that you dream of as a linebacker or a D lineman as he's playing any point in the game, is a hit where you can find somebody a little off balance and just make a huge pop by driving your shoulder into the bottom part of their chin.
Aaron Keller brings it, though, 12 yards, so Garen has the ball on the 38-yard line of Heritage Christian. Zimmerman in the backfield, and we'll have a false start.
Offsides Heritage. 5-yard.
And it'll be an offsides. He'll say Heritage jumped in the neutral zone first. Five penalties for 35 yards. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 33. Zimmerman gets the snap. Handoff up the middle to number 2, Jack Linden. Linden carries it all the way down to the 20 for a 13-yard gain.
And just a great hard run by them, and I suspect that we'll just see Garen pounding it till the end here, running the clock. And if we're Heritage, we can't be thinking about how close we are to the end zone here. We need to be focusing on finishing the game strong.
Linden is a 5'11 sophomore. He's going to get the handoff from the sweep right. Cuts back against the grain and carries a tackler across the 15 down to the 14.
Ball down by number 3, Brock Buckland, and 81, Isaac Nelson.
And as these linebackers are filling these gaps and making these plays and making these tackles, if we're Heritage, we need to be thinking about stripping the ball out to get it back because, as you've already said, time is not their friend right now.
And if you're Guerin Catholic, you're going to keep that ball in bounds. As a running back, you don't want to go out of bounds. It's good pursuit there by Colin Jones. And they'll bring up third down, no gain. The third down and 4 from the 16. Obviously, the Guerin offense in no hurry. Getting their formation, bunch formation to the right. Jack Linden to Zimmerman's left. One-on-one outside, slant route, throws it behind him. It's incomplete. Where Jack Cherry had a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah, that receiver had the DB beat there, and it was perfect. That's what receivers dream of right there. But the quarterback just threw it a little bit behind him there.
So fourth down, 4. And on comes, it's like Peyton Butts to attempt his third field goal. He's been good from 36 and 37. This one from 31 yards.
And if I had to take a guess, it's probably going through for another 20 after.
Hold, kick. Almost puts it in the baseball field out in left field, but he drills it, and it's good. A 31-yarder, and Guerin extends the lead to 31-7.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Bertner Electric Incorporated is fully licensed and bonded electrical contractor for your protection. Our electricians are available 24/7 for service calls and specialize in electrical service and storm damage repair. For more information, give us a call today.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Peyton Butts' third field goal of the night. This one connects through from 31 yards, and he kicks it for a touchback. And Garen extends that lead to 31-7 as we see this field goal. Puts it right through the uprights. Always fun for the ball boys to try to catch it. Like I said, almost put it in left field.
Yeah, he's got a leg on him. I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to put it through from 50 to 60.
Well, and what a luxury for the Guerin Catholic coaching staff to be able to know that you're in scoring position once you get around the 25-yard line. Coach Dilly's got to love having that luxury, getting an automatic 3 points. 20-yard line, 1st and 10. And pass just wide.
And that one was a little dangerous off of Isaac's fingertips. If that corner was able to get his eyes up a little quicker, he may have been able to pick it off the deflection.
Pass falls incomplete, stops the clock. 2nd down, you got to think Heritage Christian's on mindset now from an offensive standpoint, putting it through the air and trying to get points as quick as possible. Handoff. Pimental gets 4.
Just a good hard run by Pimental there. And I would suspect that on this 3rd down we see some type of deeper pass.
Pimental really been bottled up by this Guerin Catholic defense. Only 29 yards on 9 carries. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season. Nix rolls to his right. Goes the out route, and it's caught. Palaconda with a first down. Palaconda, his first reception for 11-yard gain for Daniel Palaconda. Gets a 1st and 10 for the Heritage Christian Eagles. There's the handoff up the middle. Another tackle by Cooper Navarro. He's been all around the ball on the defensive side. 3-yard gain by Pimental, and it's 2nd and 7. Looking ahead to next week, Heritage Christian on the road to Eastern Hancock. They were on the road in week 1 at Crawfordsville, so they have experience with that. The misdirection play did not fool Elijah Taylor, and he grabs him and holds him to a loss.
And with Garen, we're just seeing a lot more. Obviously, they have momentum on their side with the score, but they just have a lot more aggression right now. And I'm kind of shocked from Heritage we're not seeing more pass, but I understand their run because their playmakers are their 2 running backs. They've done incredible these past 3 weeks, the both of them from what I've seen. And so I'm not surprised by that, but it is interesting that they're not airing it out more at the end of this game.
Well, and Aaron Sloan has 6 receptions. You got to think he's getting a safety over the top as well as Nix rolls to his left, flips it over to Jones, catches it up the sideline. He's a tough tackle and bring down. He gets about 5 yards on that.
Very tough runner there, making something out of nothing there, giving them a manageable 4th down, and at this point in the game, I don't see why you wouldn't go for it.
4:19 remaining, down 31-7. The Heritage Christian offense will stay out there. Eli Nix. And update for us, Covenant Christian has scored a couple of times and now leaves the scene at 22-21. Game in the 4th quarter as Nix drops back to pass on 4th down. Harry Bryant, there's the slip on the play. His pass is incomplete. That'll be a turnover on downs with 4:14 left. Guerin Catholic with the ball and in total control. 4 minutes to go in the Chittard game. Chittard up 14-7 on Roncalli. That score has been pretty consistent, Peyton, throughout that heavyweight matchup. Nobody has scored in that contest in the second half. It's been a really defensive battle for those 2 teams. Chittard 2-0, Roncalli 1-1. Meanwhile, Heritage Christian down 31-7, and Guerin Catholic looking like they're going to move to 3-0 on the season. There's the handoff to Jack Linden. Breaks a tackle. Gets to the 2nd level all the way down to the 20-yard line is Jack Linden.
And that was just great vision by that running back. He saw he had nowhere to go on the initial side that he went, so he went ahead and cut back and just made a really, really good run out of that.
You got Jack Linden with fresh legs and some tired tacklers out there on the defensive line as he gains 21 yards on that carry.
And as we saw in that replay, he just cut back all the way across field. But luckily, one of the Heritage players didn't give up there and gave the effort to save that touchdown.
Official winds the clock. 1st down from the 20. Quentin Klee is in at quarterback for Garen Catholic. Linden not so lucky this time as there's pursuit by number 34, Isaac Jones, in there on the tackle.
And what's lucky for Garen at this point is they're in scoring range because their kicker can boot it.
He can kick it from Mars.
So they are going to get points out of this drive no matter what here. And if we're Heritage, we're just shooting to end this game strong here.
Not in any hurry. Klee goes to the throw, and he's pressured and he's sacked. Isaac Jones with his second consecutive tackle for loss. In an update, Cecina in a back-and-forth game with Covenant Christian. They just scored a touchdown, and they go back on top of Covenant Christian 28-22. Actually, Cecina goes for the two-point conversion and gets it now up 29-22. Keeps that touchdown ratio. Keeps that difference at 7 points. Third down. Linden gets tackled again.
And Heritage just had the determination here. It looks like they have now knocked them out of field goal range and scoring range.
Well, Butts will come in to punt it away. Let's see if he can either get that rotation to back up like that 56-degree sandwich, Peyton, you use out there on hole 7, or possibly a coffin corner.
If I'm using the sandwich, I'm teeing off on a 350-yard par 5 and smacking the sandwich at least 200.
And delay of game penalty. We'll move him back 5 yards and give Butts a little extra room to be able to keep it in bounds so there's not a touchback. Johnson deep to return for Heritage Christian. Good snap pressure. Butts gets it away. And he backs it up. Can they save it? No!
Oh, he used the sandwich exactly how you're supposed to use it, and then all of a sudden the wind just came in out of nowhere.
I wonder if the Guerin Catholic gunner didn't touch that ball, if it would have just stayed there. It was rolling backwards and kind of losing momentum. What a great punt by Peyton Butts. But a touchback nonetheless. Heritage Christian will start on the 20-yard line. .90 seconds remain. Garen next week at Rebuff. And here's a toss to Johnson, nowhere to go. It's swung forward for a yard gain. Peyton Limburg, number 56, 5'10" senior with the tackle. Tell you, if there's one thing Heritage Christian, though, can take away, it's a nice complimentary back to Pimental and Vaughn Johnson. He's had a really nice night. Had a 35-yard touchdown run. Here we will route to Isaac Johnson, and they're going to call a pass interference, I believe.
And that is why it is so important as the defensive back to flip your head.
Got to find the ball. I think there's more than one flag, though, on the play, so let's have the officials talk it over. But again, my point, Vaughn Johnson's had a really nice night for Heritage Christian from offensive rushing standpoint. 14 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. Can really compliment Pimental on his running abilities. As the White hat talks to Coach Ray. Pass interference call. They'll accept the pass interference call as there was 2 penalties against Guerin. That'll move the ball all the way up to the 35. And a new set of downs. First and 10 from the 35. Nix fakes the handoff, gets some pressure. Back out to Johnson on a little swing pass as the safety valve. And taken out of bounds by Adam McNeely.
And it looks like he was just able to get right back to the line of scrimmage there.
Johnson steps out of bounds to stop the clock with 50 seconds. It'll be second down. 10. It looks like there was a flag on the play. Officials are talking it over. Garen will enforce the penalty. It looks like a personal foul. So we'll move them all the way back down to the 20.
And if we're Heritage here, we're just trying to finish these last 50 seconds strong here without penalties. And it looks like they may have had a little extra something after the play there, and that's why they got that personal foul.
Johnson on the draw. A nice gain of 11 yards. Second down, 14. Nix hands off to Johnson again. This time he tries the left side. Spins away from a tackle.
It looks like that may be the last play. It looks like actually they're trying to run one more here.
10 seconds. Fourth down, Nix rolls to his right. Looks like he's going to heave it down the field. A lot of crowd down there. And regardless of the outcome, as it's an interception by Aaron Keller, and that'll do it for the game. Heritage Christian and Guerin Catholic in a hard-fought battle between the Eagles and the Golden Eagles. Guerin Catholic takes it by a score of 31-7. Peyton, final thoughts?
My final thoughts, yeah, for Garen, just a phenomenal job being able to really just hammer down every single drive they got the ball. It seemed like they were either in scoring range or they scored. And for Heritage, I noticed after the first touchdown in the very beginning of the game, coming out on the field against a team like Garen, you take on an underdog mentality. But after the first touchdown, Garen got the ball from Heritage and went down and scored, and they were walking off the field, and it's almost like they got in their head from the beginning of the game. And as a team, that's, like I've said multiple times tonight, what's going to separate you from being a good team into a great team is being able to keep your composure, your same effort, your same attitude all game long, no matter what.
Well, that'll do it for us here at Heritage Christian. For Jerry Collins, Micah Ware, and Peyton Brown, this is Clark Chafin. Don't forget, tomorrow, college football here on IndianaSRN. Until then, so long, everybody.